All righty, we're live. I believe so. We're hit. Yeah, we've got my comment menu. We're good to go. Welcome everybody over here on YouTube only. Let me go and check, make sure I don't have anything I'm missing on Facebook here. Looks like we're okay. We'll chill out here. We've got a few topics that I've listed in the first comment, but I'll wait for a few people to get checked in before we get rolling. Again, be sure and give me a wave, give me a hi, let me know that everything's good. Because I can't see you if you just check in, so give me a shout. For those of you that are out there now, give me a thumbs up if my audio is good. I kicked my cable a minute ago and unplugged it, and I had to plug it back in, so I was a little worried that maybe my audio was going to have trouble. Hopefully it's good. I'll throw it out there like that manually. Audio's good. Daniel Lemons, what's happening? Good deal. Okay. Just want to double check, make sure. I thought it would be good because I had to redo my session, but not too big a deal. It's my fault. It's what I get for having cables strung across the floor. So it's all part of the gig. Got my little mic here. Daniel, how's you guys' trail holding up at Wichita Falls? I don't know what kind of weather you guys have had. I guess Oklahoma City is in that area. They're kind of damp. I'm a little damp here, but I think we're okay-ish out here. I don't know that I'm going to go do gravel much right now. Probably need another day or two before I can get on the gravel. But I haven't seen any closed signs out of Wichita Falls. I'm thinking you guys might have stayed a little bit drier than us. All righty, we've got a few people that have clicked the little check-in button, I think, up there. I don't know if I can click on that and see that. I guess I can't. Oh, well. Charlie Lingerfeld's in the house. What's happening, Charlie? Hey, Charlie, I don't always keep up with all of your events. They're a little bit different than what I keep track up with. Yeah, if you have anything going on that you want me to shout out, give me a holler, let me know. There'll be some dates. I do upcoming events. I'm probably going to try to just get through March, and then I'll wait for any April stuff. If you have anything between now and March, give me a shout. Let me know. All right, cool, Daniel. Thanks for that. Yeah, so you guys did get some of that rain, and probably over the weekend like we did. I think some of the places, like my parents live in the Hydro area, which is kind of between where I live in Oklahoma City. I live in Southwest, and then they live in Oklahoma City. And my parents actually got a bunch of hail over the weekend, which was kind of wild. And then we got rain in Oklahoma City, and then I drove back here Monday, and it's been kind of damp, but I haven't had too much out here. So, Mike Roberts, what's happening? Derek, what's happening? We are live. Yes, we are. Jay Black, what's up? Jay Black, new race director for OKC Bike Lab. Yes, sir, Charlie. I got Feb 6th on my calendar. I'm not actually going to do that race, but it is on my calendar, and I'll talk about it at the end of the show today. It's on my list. Are you doing that, Charlie? Just out of curiosity. My girlfriend Amy texted me to tell me that she's watching on YouTube instead of commenting on here. So, hi, Amy. All righty, let's get to it. We're 4 minutes in, and this goes to Danny Prather. I don't know if he's checked in here yet or not, but he, one of our Medicine Park crews, he is he sent a YouTube message to me the other day. I didn't respond just because honestly I'm not very good at checking my notifications on YouTube. I'm getting better now that I have to. but he was like, if I could give like a little timeline on when I actually started the good stuff, so that he didn't have to watch like the very beginning, he could just get right to the guts of it. So I'm just going to give you this in general, Danny. I hem-haw around and BS until about 5-6 minutes in, and then I actually start. So just go to 5 minutes and you're going to, you'll be good. Chris, you won't find out what I'm drinking, which currently is, drinking a little blueberry vodka that my son gave me for Christmas. And then that's what I got. I'm drinking that in my Homer cup. It's one of my faves. And then, of course, I'm drinking my box wine right here. So I'm not even sure what this is. I think it's Merlot this time. Kind of go between Red Cab, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Merlot. So nice, Charlie. Well, it's going to be a different event this year. I'm responding to my friend Charlie on here who asked about the Gravel Growler. So we'll talk more about it in a minute. It's going to be different, different location, different, slightly different promoters. So it's probably going to, I assume most of the course will be different. But it's going to be a great venue. So you should have a good time for sure. St. Crispin's is in great shape, says Mike Roberts out of St. Crispin's. So I know there's been some rain stuff happening here and there, and there's been, all the 5 million questions out on Oklahoma Mountain Bike Trail Conditions website asking for conditions. And Mike's saying that his trail is good to go. So I think I read somewhere where you guys are going to be closed tomorrow, though, Mike. Is that correct? Tomorrow being Wednesday. So I thought I saw that on one of the threads. So. Alrighty, let's just go ahead and get into this. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my topics. I'll state all the topics now. They're listed in the first comment, like I always do. However, I think this is going to be a fairly short one, unless you guys get me off topic like, these students typically do to the teacher. I'm probably easily distracted, as you guys well know. So if you guys can get me down a rabbit hole, who knows? Maybe we'll go long, but I don't have a lot happening. Nothing major came up on my radar. A couple little things, and we're going to talk about those. And but it's not long discussions. But if you guys have comments, questions, random things you want to talk about that I might be able to have some inference on, then I will be happy to discuss them. I do want to give a shout out to Paul Dyer. I don't know if he's on here tonight yet or not, but he did check in last time. He rides, but new, and he's looking at racing. I've not met Paul, I just met him electronically. And last week, I think he may have thrown it out there, or somebody threw it out there about riding single speed. And I told him that I would be happy to talk to them about gear ratios and things of that nature. And today I did that. Paul and I talked online a few times, and we talked courses and gear ratios. So anyway, if Paul's out there, thumbs up, and just give him a big shout out, and look forward to seeing you on the race scene and all. Oh, so Derek, you're right. You asked that, and someone took you up on that. So thank you, Derek, for asking about the single speed gear ratios. But yeah, so Paul actually took me up on that today, and hopefully he's checking in here at some point tonight too. Okay, cool, Mike. Mike Roberts, I had mentioned a minute ago that I thought I'd read a thread where St. Crispin's was possibly closed tomorrow. I didn't verify that. I was just, someone posted it on the thread, and we all know how that goes. But Mike just confirmed that they are not closed. They're open all week. So there are some time frames. So you guys can go out to all the websites and find the things and find the times, and just be sure. And if you're out at St. Crispin's, remember that it's a private facility. It's not public. There are hours, and they do that simply to allow their staff to have regular days because they have a small staff. So, please abide by the St. Crispin's rules. do so many wonderful things for us that just abiding by a few simple rules is the least we can do as responsible riders. So again, thank you, Mike and Joanne, for all you do out there, and appreciate it. Paul, you're riding single speed, you're no wimp, dude. You'll get it, and it's all good. Two gluttons for punishment. Yeah, I've kind of called myself that too, and I think I kind of like that though. I mean, maybe I am just the whole glutton. So, Richie Beam. Yeah, Richie, you and I need to have a talk, bro. Yeah, 3216 is a little tall on your 26-incher at T-Bird. I imagine you were feeling that one. And I guarantee you didn't ride tabletop, not on that gear ratio. I was telling Paul earlier today, I actually ride a 3219 T-Bird, although about half the time I need a 3220, but it's not worth it because you go from climbing to such fast flowy sections that if you run anything, to me, if I run anything with a bigger cog in the back than a 3219, then I'm just spun out. So 3219 for me is about the sweet spot. Yeah. Jeremy says better than a 3210 at Steed. Yeah. I think a 3210 would be basically at Steed would be that would be hiking with a bike on your shoulder. That would not be a bike ride, Jeremy. Yeah, Richie. I'm 50-50 tabletop with a 3219. With a 3220, I'm about 75%. I've never ridden anything else out there. But the problem is with a 3220, which you need to make tabletop, it's faster just to run a 19. I just get off. I don't even try to ride tabletop when I'm racing. I just run it because I can run as fast as whoever's riding. And then I have the 19 for the faster section. So you did a lot of running for sure. All righty. Love your comments. Keep them coming. I'll keep jumbling in. So we're going to talk Roman nose. Shout out to some stuff that's been happening with OEF and some of their work at Roman nose. Shout out to our good friend Keith Reed of Stillwater. Talk about some Mid-South routes. Just talk about all the work and all the pictures that I keep seeing with my Medicine Park crew doing trail work and all the stuff they're doing out there. Some upcoming dates. And then I'm just going to throw an idea out you about a possible fun little wizard activity that Amy and I have been thinking about and trying to work out the logistics of it. We think it something that could be fun, and I'll explain all that towards the end. So, you bet, Mike. Yeah, you're welcome. You're very welcome, man. Anything I can do to spread the love. Okay, so let's get to the first one. The first one is Roman nose. So I knew there was some conflict out there, but honestly, I was not really involved in it. And I've had my plate full, but luckily, OEF, Oklahoma Earth Bike Fellowship, and one of their members, and probably not their only member, but Nick Gerba, who's one of OEF's. I think Nick's on the board, but I don't know his position, or he was, but he's still an OEF member. If you're not a member of OEF, again, Oklahoma Earth Bike Fellowship, you should probably consider it. I need to go out and look and make sure that my my yearly update is renewed. I can't remember if I renewed this year or not. I'll check that tomorrow and make sure that I get that done. But it's good to be a member of OEF. OEF is a trail advocacy group here in the state of our state. They're based out of Oklahoma City, but they work throughout the state, and their goal is trail advocacy and helping build trails, develop trails, maintain, help people develop the skills to do all of that, help people develop the skills to maintain a trail once it's created, and then even assist in maintenance of certain trails that they put their stamp on. And I think there's 8 to 10 trails here in the state that they kind of put their stamp on, that they support, not only financially in some ways, but usually that financially is done through just equipment, volunteer work, people power, as well as information. And they do a lot of work in our state. And I want to give a big shout out to Nick Gerba. And he took on a project over the last few weeks, pretty much by himself, I think. I'm sure he had support of OEF. We got word, I say we, many of us got word that there was going to be an event out at Roman Nose State Park. It is a state park. And we've had Tour de Dirt races out at Roman Nose in years past. We've had Moonshine Madness there in the last couple of years. Did we do it 2 years? Yeah, we've done it 2 years. At least 1 year. Can't remember. But so anyway, so we've had races out there. There's a bike trail out there. It's a great bike trail. It's a great venue. We've not been able to do Tour de Dirt races out there. Not really any reason. We had a dam issue that blocked off part of the trail. But there's a resolution of that now without using that dam if we needed to. But it's just a matter of having a time and a space and a schedule and a promoter. But anyway, all of that aside, word came out that they were going to have a race out there. But this race was not a bike race. This was a motorized dirt bike race. So it was a question of, well, does that mean dirt bike is in mountain bike? But no, it's not. It's dirt bike is in motorcycles. So they were going to be on part of the multi-use trails. I don't exactly know where they were going to be, but I think it was going to be on the multi-use trails that crossed over, some of which were the mountain bike trails, some of which were the equestrian trails, hiking trails, all of the above. And, Nick questioned to that and then communicated with the, I guess just some of the leaders in the that deal with the state parks administration, as well as the what is it? Oh, and I guess there's an Oklahoma Trails Advisory Committee, and he just communicated with them, looked at the laws, and real quickly found out that it's against state law, whether or not you ride motorcycles or not. I know plenty of you guys do. There's a time and a place, and unfortunately, right now in state parks, on our trails and in most areas, unless there's some rule on top of that, you cannot ride motorcycles on trails that are Oklahoma state parks. And so that race that they had scheduled, the park manager there had apparently scheduled this race. I'm guessing he's a motocross guy, and just thought it would be okay. And it's not. And I'm a little, I've known a few of the park managers at Roman Nose. I've worked closely with at least 3 of them actually over the last 10 years. But I don't know the current one. But the fact that he was unaware that was not allowed on state park land of a park that he's a director of was a little concerning. But regardless, I want to give a shout out to Nick and the good work that he did, the extra time that he spent looking at the legalities of it, and the communications that he made to the right people. And now we're not going to have that race. That event's not going to be held. So the damage to that trail is going to be limited. That's a fairly sensitive trail anyway, just with foot traffic and even bike traffic, the minimal bike traffic that it gets. But even with foot traffic, because of the weather and the nature of that trail, it's fairly sensitive. So the idea of having dirt bikes motocross on the bike trail is a little concerning. So, but anyway, we don't have to worry about that. It's not going to happen. And again, I just want to give a big shout out to Nick Gerba, that is, for doing his thing and working with OEF to protect our trails. So thumbs up, good shout out. Mark Wells, what's happening? Good to see you. All righty. Well, let's see here. I just want to make sure I don't have anything crazy happening over here. So I'm still paying attention, guys. I'm just checking a couple of things to make sure. All right. So I kind of flip my tabs. You can probably see the light change. I don't see it because when I change tabs, I can't see it. But I notice it when I rewatch these sometimes when I'm critiquing myself. I notice that I can see the light change when I'm flipping tabs because I'm actually connected to my TV. My TV is in front of me, so I don't have a computer. I just have I have a computer, but my monitor is my TV. So, alrighty, topic number 2. And if you guys want to revisit any of those things that I talked about, Nick and OEF and Roman knows, feel free to shout out, and I'll go back. So, in the meantime, I want to go to the next topic. And this is not as happy of a topic, but I want to keep it positive. Our good friend Keith Reed, if you've done gravel or you've been around Stillwater or you know any of the Stillwater crew, you know Keith. And you've probably heard of Keith's Bike Fort. Well, I just want to give condolences and a shout out to Keith. Just tell him that we love him. And we're all there for him if he needs anything. He's got a strong support crew in Stillwater, which I'm so happy that he does. Keith lost his wife this week. She was coming home from work, pedestrian car accident, and we just want to say that we're behind you, and we'll miss Terry. I'm sure not like you do. But we just hope that we can provide anything that you need to support and keep you riding bikes and keep you positive and keep you happy and get you through this. And we don't expect you to go anywhere, and can't wait till things get back to normal a little bit and we get out to Keith's Bike Fort and do our thing out there again with you, Keith. We love you. All righty, let's move on to Mid-South. While we're talking about Stillwater, let's move to Mid-South itself. Still seeing some criticism of Mid-South. Again, coming from some of my roadie friends, it seems like. I'm not even going to go there about the criticism of it. I think it was the right call, and I guess the beef that some of my folks that I'm seeing have is that they kept some of the money and they gave us money back, and I don't know. I could give two shits. Apparently I got a $55 credit at Biker Edge, so I don't know. I'm okay. I've got, between my box wine that I'm drinking out of here and this bottle right here, I mean, damn, I'm sneaking up on $40 right there. So, so the fact that Mid-South maybe made $150,000 on us, and they pay their staff that they have full time to do that and keep that event going, I don't know. I guess I don't really care. I mean, I'll be there next year, so this is what it is. And the fact that you guys are all butthurt about that, this is it's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting that that's such a problem, but I guess that's the world that we live in these days. So people are going to be that way. But that's not what I really wanted to talk about. I just really wanted to talk about what we know is going on. And that is we know that people are developing courses left and right. Stillwater crew, they're doing course development to do the different distances and all the things that they're doing. I really haven't looked at the details. I will probably look at the details more next week and try to talk about the details of what they're doing in Stillwater during that time frame to do things. But I know that all these surrounding communities are also creating their own courses and trying to coordinate for that weekend. I even know that we're going to try to do that out here. So, my buddy Doc Krieger and his family and myself, we're going to try to create some courses out here. And if you don't feel comfortable in the metro area and you want to get out and about a little bit and get away from everybody, well, you're welcome to come out here in the sticks with me, and you'll be riding with a handful of people, and you're going to be out in the middle of nowhere, and you're going to see maybe 2 cars the entire time we're out here, and probably drink some cold beers and probably get in some mud. I don't know. It just depends on what the weather throws at us. Who knows? But it'll be a good time. I also wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Quincy Simons out of Wichita area. I don't know. I assume that Quincy lives in Wichita, but there's a whole big crew of my friends that live in or around Wichita, Kansas. But Quincy gave me a shout out, and they are putting together their own courses. I'd have to look at my Facebook messages. He messaged me earlier, but they're doing different distances. I'm thinking like a 30, a 50, 60, 30, 50, 100. I'm just throwing that out there. That may not be exactly correct, but they're doing some different distances, and I just want to give them a shout out too. So know that, even our crew up in Kansas has they've got stuff going on in the Wichita area. I'm sure there's other things going on as well too. And but anyway, just a shout out to Quincy and the fact that they're developing that. So I know that they'll probably get a big showing there. And anyway, it's just a way to continue the Mid-South tradition in the crazy times that we have, and to go do your own thing with your own crew and be safe. So thumbs up to everybody. "26 minutes in. Look at that. I am down to my last, really, I don't know, I've got 2.5 topics left. So again, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to you guys for checking in. I appreciate you guys moving on over to YouTube with me. I know we're going to still keep working on that to get everybody over, and hopefully that'll keep happening. It's just a much easier medium. I just had so much trouble dealing with Facebook Live. It's super convenient when you're just like popping it on your phone and you want to do a quick video. But if you're doing like I'm doing 45 to an hour, it was just so finicky and hard to keep. But anyway, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys checking in. If you guys have questions, comments, things you want to chat about, let me know. I'm going to cover 2 more main things. One's a short one, talk about Medicine Park crew. I'm going to talk about upcoming events, and then I'm going to talk about a little fun thing that I've been thinking about with Amy, and we're just trying to flesh out the details. And if you guys have some ideas for it, throw them my way too. So I just want to give another shout out to my Medicine Park crew. Miss you guys. I got to catch up with Steve Cordis along with Jeremy Black. Oh man, probably 2 weeks ago. Might have been 3. It's shit. It all mixes together, and I kind of forget. But we got to get out there and get a little gravel in. I think I'm getting pretty close to being ready to go ride the trail out there. I think physically I'm getting almost there. So I'm ready to go out there and maybe put the hurt on myself a little bit. We'll see. But I want to give them the shout out. They've been doing crazy trail work. I talked to Steve and said they've been like just hammering away at the blue over there across the dam, and making several more lines out there than they've had before. They just been following that little ridge line. Normally we had like an upper and a lower going out towards the kind of where the neck of the water was at, and you had to get on the little staircase to get over the fence and across that parking lot. But that whole blue area, that's the blue area. And they've been zigzagging with a bunch of new trail and cool trail up and down that. So I'm looking forward to getting on some of that. And it looked like today they were over on the ridge where you have upper north, lower north, and all that along that ridge that faces the water, faces Lake Latonka. Looks like they were doing some work over there just based on the picture. So I don't exactly know what they were working on. It's hard to tell. But again, crazy work they're doing. And I'm just Jones. I need to get back over there. miss those guys, and need to go beat myself up some more and get my body back in shape. So thumbs up to the Medicine Park crew. All right, let's move into let's see any more questions. And upcoming events, I've got a few listed here. I've got a lot listed, but I'm just only going to go through March, because I don't really want to jump too far ahead, and kind of save and kind of piecemeal it out a little bit. So right out of the gate, 2 weekends from now, we have the Gravel Growler, and Charlie had asked me about that a minute ago, and I just wanted to follow up with that. So I did not register the Gravel Growler this weekend. It's going to be staged out at St. Crispin's this year. Couple of new promoters. They're not new promoters. They helped promote the race before, and they've just taken over full time now. And Craig McIntyre decided to let them to let it move on to new promoters, and they took it over, and they've moved it out to St. Crispin's as the venue. So because of that, they're probably going to have a completely different course. I know I've ridden out there a handful of times off and on through the years, so there's some really neat terrain. I know the courses are out there. I haven't really looked at the courses that closely yet, but I just know the terrain out there, and it's going to be pretty neat, I think. I think going to be some good stuff. And of course, the venue at St. Crispin's is always just perfect. So it's going to be a great event. I'm still undecided on whether I'm going to be out there or not. It just kind of depends on how the weather plays out and what happens in my life and stuff like that. But I don't have any event planned that day. I'm physically not ready to go out and do an event like that, because I don't have the ability to not go hard and not race. And I don't think that's a good plan for me physically right now. So I'm probably, worst case, unless something comes up, Amy and I are planning on coming out there and hanging out. I'd like to come out there and hang out and fish and maybe ride my mountain bike, and then just wait for everybody to come in from the finish. So so that's kind of my plan, probably. Just do that. But I'm not going to race. I don't think it's a smart move right now. At my point, I'm just now starting to get fit again, and kind of get starting to sharpen the edge a little bit, and I just don't want to go pushing something hard like that yet. I'm hoping by March that I'll be ready. I think I'll be race ready for cross country stuff by March, but it's going to take a little bit. I may do that, Mike. I may do that. Mike says test ride the Massacre course. I may do that very thing. So, but I'm getting close, and that's the plan. So anyway, Gravel Growler, February the 6th. Oh, man. We followed that right up a month later at St. Crispin's once again. I don't have anything in between there. Now, there may be something else out there between February 6th and March 7th, but I don't have anything that's like really triggering on my calendar. Quincy Simon checked in. What's happening, Quincy? Hey, I just talked about you guys' your courses that you're creating for Mid-South out in Wichita. I didn't know if you were on here listening to that or not, but I just wanted to reiterate that, let you know that I did do that in case you just checked in. So excellent. Mike Roberts just chimed in and said talking about the Gravel Growler, said it's a new route that we have never used before, backwards with a few twists. Of course, always with a few twists. A few twists are great. So, so then we move on to March the 7th. March the 7th, we have our first Tour de Dirt race, mountain biking 2021. And we are going to be knocking out St. Crispin's, same venue that we just talked about. I'm sure Michael do something cool with the course, and it's always a great venue. But we're gonna rock and roll March 7th. I have 2 other events that I have tossed in here too now in March. And Kevin Snyder, yes, you can chat now. You can chat whenever you please. I'm guessing you had some tech issues and could not. Oh, Mike says the massacre route. Oh, okay, you're not talking. You were talking about the massacre route. I got you. I got you. All righty. So you're talking to cross. So Mike's talking. He's got some tricks up his sleeve for the March 7th cross country race and the massacre route. So that's going to be fun. So there you go, Quincy. Thank you for telling me that. I was trying to wing the distances that you were creating up in Wichita from our message earlier, but I didn't want to switch tabs and go look it up. So I was pretty close. I think I said 30, 50, and 100. So not bad for guessing, because it looks like you're going to do a 25-mile course, 50-mile course, and a 100-mile course. So good stuff. And just be sure, Quincy, once you get any kind of start finish time frames, however you want to do it. I don't know if you want to do, altered, whatever you're doing with that. Just create an event, get the information, post that sucker up to Tier to Dirt, where everybody's, and all the other, and I'll make sure that the other Oklahoma pages get it too. So just be sure and get your information out there for sure. Herb Brown, what's happening? Herb says he's hoping for a faster ride at the Gravel Masher. Well, that's what we're all hoping for. We're always hoping for the faster ride, no matter what. Usually. I'm just hoping to survive my next one, I think. Some good stuff. That's like drinking candy. All righty. March 6th and 20th. March 6th, March 20th. So this is a cool little series. These are the first 2 races of the Rage Against the Chainring, going back to our crew in Wichita, Kansas. I did 3 of these last year. I missed 1. I think I'm only going to be able to get a couple of them in this year unless I double up a race. It's hard for me to double up, though, because I'm doubling up Tier to Dirt races with one of these, and it's different for me to do that because I typically have expectations to be there Saturday to pre-ride and do some things on some of the courses. So it's hard for me to double up that. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'll try to double up 1, and that way I can get maybe 3 again. But I'm probably looking at maybe 2 races that are open for me. But Rage Against the Chainring, it's a great event. Apostle Bikes, Fun Crew, John Sears, and their crew put on a really great grassroots event. This is a gravel race that's fun. It's not over the top. It's, they've got great numbers, but I just like the way they do it. It's a fun little series. I think they're doing it slightly differently this year with distances. In the past, they've done a 50-mile distance. A 25-mile loop where you do a 50-mile distance or approximately 25 to 26-mile loop, and then you do it twice. I think they have a longer option this year as well. So it's a cool idea, cool venue. It's a 4-race series, and I love doing it. It's fun. It's a great crew, great race, great promoters, really chill grassroots event, and I like those kind of things. So the first 2 of their spots are going to be the 6th and 20th of March. So there you go. That leads us into March 2021, which is our Wichita Challenge. I'm skipping Wichita this year. Not saying I won't go down there and go hiking and goofing off, but I'm not racing. Again, I just don't want to push myself at that point in March. And the commitment that it would require to get, I'd have to commit now, not knowing whether I'm physically going to be ready or not. I don't want to commit all of that when I'm not sure. Wichita is going to be different this year. In the past, they've done a Saturday, Sunday event with Saturday being a mountain bike race that mirrors. It's kind of like the mountain bike tour, whereas Sunday's the mountain bike race, and the tour cuts out Blowout Mountain. But this year they're not doing the Saturday mountain bike race. They're only doing a gravel race. Excuse me. And then they're going to have the mountain bike race on Sunday. So they're doing gravel Saturday, mountain bike on Sunday. I know plenty of my Oklahoma folks are doing that. And, you know, thumbs up. And maybe I'll see you out there if I decide to come out and hang out. So, again, I'm not going to race it, but it's a fun place to be. So I may come just hang out and drive back roads and try to catch you guys out on the trail. And then lastly, for March, and I'm just going to stop in March, is March 28th. And that is our team warm-up crew with Lake Thunderbird Sooner Stampede. They are typically one of the two biggest races in our Tour de Dirt series. Them, along with Claremore, typically have the biggest numbers. RDR sometimes gets up in there with them. And look forward to T-Bird and what Team Warm-Up has in store. It's always good fun, great course. It's a great venue where it's located. They usually have the blow-up pub, and the start finish is really accessible. So it's going to be a pretty neat little place. I'm looking forward to kicking that one off for sure. So that is all the upcoming venues that I have. I saw where I think Jay Black threw something out there. There it is. February 13th and 14th is the Sequoia Gravel Adventure Weekend. February 13th and 14th. I don't know where that is at. So, but we can definitely get information out there for the Sequoia Gravel Adventure Weekend, February 13th and 14th. It's east of Tulsa, Charlie says. Okay, cool. Yeah, I read about that, and then I just lost track of the venue information. I read about that, I don't know, last week, I think, and I didn't research it beforehand, so I end up kind of winging it when I'm live, because I can't look. I rely on you guys. Kevin Snyder, thank you, says Wagner, Oklahoma. So there you go, Sequoia Gravel Adventure Weekend, Wagner, Oklahoma. We'll yeah. Jay Black, Kevin, Charlie, any of you guys, you have a link to the event page. Post that sucker up out to Tour de Dirt page, and then it'll get out there on the other pages as well too, I'm sure. So, all right. If you guys have any more questions, I have one question to answer here, but I will go ahead and throw out that if you guys, you have anything real quick, we're at 43 minutes. I'm done, except one little thing that I want to talk about. But I do want to answer any questions that you might have. So if you have any, throw them out there. Derek, which is our, his handle is OKLAH, short for Oklahoma, OTB. OKLA OTB says, Cat 3, still one lap in the tour, ? And so it's actually a good question, Derek, and one that I'm actually going to talk about this a little bit more than I'd anticipated, because it's a great question. It's one that I get a lot, and it's one that it's really hard for people to understand. And our Cat 3 is not based on, none of our Tour de Dirt racing is based on distance. Distance means nothing. I mean, it does mean something, but we don't measure by distance. You never measure by distance. And the reason you do not is because the courses are all varying levels. So just the perfect example is the conversation that I had earlier with Paul Dyer on here, and the conversation that I have with anybody that's asking about single speed gearing. They're asking about, well, what do I ride on this course? Well, you ride different gearing on every course, because every course is different in difficulty. So that very same concept means that every course is different based on the style of course that it is, the availability of terrain, and how long it takes you to navigate certain amounts. So let's say that I go out and I want to do a 11-mile loop out at Draper. Well, I can knock that out in an hour. Well, maybe, I don't know. They jacked up the green so crazily on Draper now that maybe I can't do it in an hour. But if I were to go out and do 5 miles at Medicine Park, I'm going to take an hour. So you can't base it on distance and time. So we have time. If you actually look in our rule sheets, we have time recommendations for every category. Cat 1, Cat 2, and Cat 3, which is now novice. Cat 3 and novice are the same thing. They just change the terminology. We often do, yes, one lap for Cat 3s, 2 laps for Cat 2s, and I'm sorry, I said that wrong. One lap for Cat 3s or novices, 2 laps for the Cat 2s, and then we do 3 laps for the Cat 1s, depending on what division of Cat 1 you are. That is often the case, but that is just the nature of the terrain. But we do those based on times. So that means that your distance is going to be different at all those courses, even if you do the same. However, we've done plenty of races. Back in the day, Keystone, Turkey Mountain has done it. I think Stillwater, we did it for a while. We've done several courses where we did multiple laps. Short course, you do more laps. So again, the whole point is it's based on time. The goal of our Cat 3s or novices is to do about an hour, ballpark. About an hour, give or take, depends on what level you're on, but ballpark an hour. Cat 2s, hour and a half to 2. Cat 1s, 2 hours to 2.5 hours. Something like that. I don't know. I think I have the range wrong. 2.5 hours. But those all vary, but those are the guidelines that we try to do. So again, it's based on time, not the number of laps, not the distance. So often, Derek, it is 1 lap for Cat 3s, but that doesn't mean that it's guaranteed. It just depends on the difficulty of the course, the distance of the course, and the speed at which we race. So often I help our promoters, especially when it's a new course or it's a new venue. I assure that if I can't get out to ride it and time it and get my estimation on it, I have someone that I trust, that I know their ability level, that I've raced against, that I've ridden against, and I get them to go out and pre-ride the course for me. And then I help the promoters decide on whether or not they need to cut part of the course, or whether they need to add parts, or whether they need to add more laps. So we do it again based on the time that it takes to do the course and the difficulty level. So I know that was a short question. You expected a short answer and you got a whole big long speech. So I apologize, but there it is. So Kevin Snyder says, where can I rent an e-bike? Hey, everywhere, bro. Anywhere. Class one e-bikes are permissible pretty much everywhere on almost every. Oh, they're permissible in all state parks and almost every course in the state. I think the only place right now that there might be some question is Draper, but I mean, honestly, who the hell's going to check there anyway? No one's going to know. I mean, the people that are checking aren't even going to know that it's an e-bike because they look the same. So thanks, Charlie, for posting that that link up there for the Sequoia Gravel Adventure Weekend. Thank you for that. Ava, what's happening? Ava's the daughter of my buddy Quincy, so she's a cool cat and a good mountain biker as well too. So she's growing up. I keep seeing pictures, and she just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I guess that's the nature of growing up, huh? That's what you get when you get old and all your kids are growing up. So, okie doke. If you guys have anything to say, let me know. I'm gonna go one more topic here. Just throw it out there, and then I'll let you guys throw some ideas out my way. You can hit me up privately or whatever. You don't really have to tell me what you think exactly now, but so I've been trying to come up with something fun. So Amy and I kind of have this thing that we do. We go hike and ride and do stuff that we do on the weekends. And we've just started we just started doing it, and we've been doing it for months now, months and months. Every time we go somewhere and do a big long hike or do a big long ride, instead of just like coming home, we back road all the way home. So like we'll turn an hour drive into a 3-hour dirt road drive, just back roading to get home. Out in the middle of nowhere, randomly taking turns and possibly partaking in, libations as we do here. So cheers. We're out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere between here and the Wichita Mountains. Had some cool mountains in our view to our east, and we're down this road. There's some really neat farm homes that are just out in the middle of nowhere. And then all of a sudden I'm like, stop. You got to back up. There was something on that tree. And you saw my post, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and someone had created this mask, googly-eyed little face in a notch on a tree. And that just got me to thinking of something that would be fun to do. And so I'm still fleshing out the ideas on that, but I want to create some kind of goofy little wizard cutout that's obnoxious. And I don't know, I've got plenty of friends that make metal stuff that can probably make something funny and hilarious. And it's got something related to the wizard and Tour de Dirt. And I want to take that and hide that in random places on trails in our state over the next few months during the Tour de Dirt season. Again, I don't have the logistics worked out. I want to make some prize for finding it. It's not going to be super easy to find. I'm not going to put it right on the trail where everybody can just go by and see it. But I want to give people some incentive to go out and search this thing out, and incentive to hit certain trails on our Tour de Dirt schedule. And hey, Ava, I miss you too. So hopefully we'll get to see you. Well, if you're going to be at St. Crispin's for the gravel race, I'll get to see you there. And in fact, you can probably hang out with me because I'm not going to be racing. So awesome. But anyway, so I think that would be fun. I think I want to, make it where it's like cool if you can, if you can actually locate it on a trail and you can get a picture with it, and we'll make it where you post it up to Tour de Dirt Facebook page. And eventually I want to look at doing some awards for the first one to find it, or maybe someone with the coolest selfie with it. And anyway, so that's what we're thinking about. And I think it would be something that would be fun. It'd almost be kind of like a scavenger hunt, almost kind of like a geocache type of thing. I don't know how closely, how many, I haven't decided how much detail I want to give on where it's located yet. But I'm going to work those details out. And if you have any ideas, let me know. I'm just thinking of something that would be fun that we could all participate in, and we could laugh about on here, and we could share, some of the photos and the selfies on here of if you found it and things of that nature. So anyway, just my thoughts. Let me know. And I still almost won an hour, even with almost no huge long topics. So all right, I think I'm going to get. So I don't think I've missed anything. I hope I didn't. Everything in the comment line comes up pretty cleanly here. So unlike Facebook, so I don't think I've missed anything. So all right, I'm going to get ladies, gents, kids, everybody. Miss you guys. Look forward to upcoming races and events. Hope we can all do it and be safe. And at some point, maybe in the next 6 months, we'll be back to somewhat normal, and we'll go from there. So miss you guys. Love you. See you later.